Hello everybody. Today we're going to make a banana nut bread, but I'll guarantee you it's not going to be like a banana nut bread you've ever seen. Because y'all know I take recipes and I change them into my own recipe. So we're going to get started. I've got two really ripe bananas here. They're so mushy, it's unreal. But you want a ripe, mushy banana. To go ahead and make this dish. And I'm just using two. You can use three, depending on what size you're. Because you at least want about a cup of bananas to a cup and a half. I'm going to add 1 egg. I'm going to add a half a cup of brown sugar mixed with cinnamon. There's probably a teaspoon of cinnamon in there that I mixed with brown sugar. We're also going to add a half a cup of white sugar. Oops. And I'm using cake flour or bread flour, and I'm going to put 2.5 cups of my flour. Get that out of the way because I've already used it. So this is 2 cups right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure it out. That's 2 cups. Now I need a half a cup. Whoa, what am I doing? That's way too much flour. I've already put 2 cups in there. All I need is a half a cup. So y'all pay attention to what you're doing. Don't do like I did. That's a half a cup right there. Put that in there. Okay, let's see what else we need. We got the egg. Now you can put a cup of nuts in that if you want to. I'm choosing to put raisins in mine. I usually put walnuts or peanuts in mine, but I don't have any peanuts. I mean, not peanuts, but pecans or walnuts in mine. But I'm just going to put raisins in this instead. If I can get them out of this clump. You know how raisins do, they get stuck. Oh, heat your oven to 350 while you're doing this. I almost forget that. And sometimes the raisins come in a clump, so be sure and break your clumps up. few more in there. And get them out of here. So I'm putting my cup of raisins in, or nuts, or you can put both. You can put a cup of raisins and nuts. Mix it up if you want to. 1 1/4 cup of milk. So I'm going to use this. That's about it right there. I kind of wish I'd had it in a bigger bowl now. And that's pretty much it. We're going to mix it. Oh, let's see. Where's my wooden spoon? A lot of times I just mix mine by hand. But I've got my mixer here, so if I want to use it, I can. But I want to get this mixed up a little bit first, because I don't like the flour flying out at me. And it's a pretty thick mixture. So it's up to you whether you do it by hand or with a mixer, a food processor, or whatever. Get these banana peelings out of the way. Get them put over there to put in the compost. Now I'm going to come over here and see if I can do it with the mixer. And you want it kind of on a low heat, low speed. You don't want it really fast. We're not whipping it, we're beating, we're mixing it. And another thing that we're going to add is about 1/4 cup of cooking oil. I'm using avocado oil. You can use, avocado, grapeseed oil, canola oil, any type of cooking oil you want to use. And I always have the cups away from me when I should have it toward me. So that's about 1/4 cup of cooking oil. I'm going to pour it right in my bowl. And before I get any further, you can use a loaf pan, a 9 by 5 inch loaf pan, which I use most of the time. But this time I'm going to use an 8.5 by 8.5 baking glass Pyrex dish. And what I'm going to do now, while I'm thinking of it before I forget, is I am going to go ahead and oil this thing down. Because I will forget it. I'll end up pouring my batter in there with cleaning up one mess, and I'm making even a more of a mess with my batter here, y'all. And I don't know if any of you do this. My mom always did it. After she greased her dish down, she put in a little bit of flour and kind of scooped it around her dish. That just helps with it not sticking to your dish when it's cooking. But there's my greased and floured baking dish right there. I'm going to come back here and start mixing my batter after I put in my oil. You don't want to over mix it. And I'm just going to use my dish over here as a rest for my mixer since it's a hand mixer. I'm going to go ahead and pour this right in. I gotta taste it, y'all. That's gonna be good. I just run water in my bowl so I can clean it, wash it. Now, whenever your oven is heated to 350 degrees, we're going to put our cake batter in there, and we're going to cook it for 55 to 65 minutes. So right around an hour or so. And in about an hour, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what else I'm going to do. So we'll see you in about an hour. Well, it's been about an hour and 5 minutes, so that's 65 minutes that this has been baking. And I had to turn my exhaust fan on. It's getting way too hot in here. Let's check it and see if it's done. Guess you can see me up here. I do the toothpick test. If you can put this toothpick in your cake and pull it out and there's no wet cake on it, then it's done. And it looks like it's pretty much done. So we're going to turn it off. And I'm going to put it over here. let it cool. Now while that's cooling, I took out an 8-ounce package of cream cheese, and I'm going to let it get hot, or get to room temperature, because we're going to make a icing to go on our cake. That's right, an icing on our cake. Because remember, this is not a true banana nut bread. It's more like a banana raisin cake. It's kind of like halfway between a banana nut bread and a banana raisin cake is what it's going to be. And we're going to make a cream cheese icing to go on it. But we got to let it cool first, because you can't put a hot icing. You can't put the icing on a hot cake because it'll melt it. So we're going to let this cool. Just leave it sit right there, and we'll come back when it's cooled and we'll make our icing. Well, I'm back, y'all. We got our cake out here. And it's still hot. But I think I'm going to go ahead and mix up the icing. First of all, I'm going to use about a 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese. I've got about 1/4 of a cup of butter. Get it off the spoon. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. Find my teaspoon here. No, I don't want to do that. I should have got my salt first. I'm just going to take some just regular salt, put about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to put 1 1/2 cups of powdered sugar, or confectionery sugar. And I'm going to try to beat it or mix it with this. I don't know if it's going to work without spitting it everywhere. Put it on the dry setting. But I had my cream cheese sitting out on the counter for it to soften up. I really didn't want it to wrap all around the deal like it's doing, but And I gotta taste it. Yeah, some people put a lot more sugar in it than I do. I don't like all that sugar. So I usually put just a little bit less sugar in mine than the recipe calls for. These over here and let them rinse them off a little bit. I don't want it to be stuck on my beaters. Now let's see where my spatula is. Landslide, y'all. And I'm just gonna put it right on the top of my cake or my bread. Need to get it all out of here. But don't forget, you can use any kind of flour you want, but if you use all-purpose flour, don't forget to put in your salt and your baking powder. I used a flour that already has salt and baking powder in it, so I didn't need to do that. And I did trim my recipe down a little bit, even the cake, because I didn't want a great big cake and I didn't want to make 2 loaf pans, so I almost cut my recipe in half because I just wanted one little cake to make. That's good, y'all. Had to get it off my hands. I didn't put my clean dishes up. I washed them, but I didn't get it up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut a piece because I know y'all are all about the testing of the food. Let's see. See if I can get it out with a fork. It's the only thing I don't like about making these type of sheet cakes is trying to get them out. But since I know y'all are all about the tasting of it, I had to cut a piece to taste it. It's still a little warm. The icing is not set yet. But there you go. I'll give you a close-up of it. There is my banana raisin cake with cream cheese icing. Or you could even call it a banana raisin pudding with cream cheese icing, but it's more of a cake. But it has a real moist texture. Look at that. Don't that look good? Y'all take a bite. Cream cheese icing with banana raisin cake. Dear Lord bless this food I'm about to eat. Y'all, that is so good. And since I cut the sugar down, you know, I'm not so guilty as eating this with all the sugar. I can eat this as a dessert cake. I can eat with brunch. I can eat it with a cup of coffee first thing in the morning. Or I can eat it as a snack any time of the day or night. But there you go. There is my banana nut. Not banana nut because I didn't put nuts. But you can put nuts in it. My banana raisin cake with cream cheese icing. There you go, y'all. Don't that look good? It's good. I tell you, it's really good. You need to try it. So y'all please like, share, subscribe to my videos. I'll see you on the next one. Bye now. Love y'all.